Hey everyone, I just wanted to show you my process for creating click tracks for worship. Click tracks are a great way to keep your worship band tight rhythmically while also giving you the opportunity to use cues to guide you through the song. Click tracks can also be paired with samples to fill out the sound of your band, but I won't go into that in this video. Comment below if that's something you think you could use help with, and I'll explain that process in a different video. Anyway, let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is open Safari. You're going to go to YouTube and you're going to try to find a version of your song that is either a studio version or a live version that you're sure was recorded to a click track. So for this example, I'm going to go ahead and use Worthy of Your Name. It's a new song from Passion. It's an excellent worship song. I suggest you guys check it out. Anyways, so you'll just want to take a listen to it, make sure that it's either a studio version or that it's to a click track. Now this one I already know is to a click track, so we're going to go ahead and use that. So the next thing you'll need to do is copy the URL up here, or cut, either way. Open up a new tab and you're going to try to find a YouTube to MP3 download. So I usually just do a Google search and search YouTube to MP3 or whatever. And let's see. I know this one works. I've used it before, so we'll go ahead and go here. Then you're just going to go and paste the link, convert, and download. So that'll go ahead and start downloading immediately. Usually will go pretty fast. And yeah, that's going to open iTunes. It's kind of annoying, so just close out of that. So go up to Downloads and then open up in Finder. You're going to notice that the file is an MP3 file, and that's a problem. It'll only take WAV on Studio One. If you have the professional version, it'll convert it, but I've also already got this downloaded here, so I'm going to open up Audacity. I'm going to run up to File, Open, and then I'm going to click that file that I already had on my desktop. So here's the MP3 file. Open that up. Alright, so you'll see the sound waves. You can kind of figure out where the sections of the song are. We're going to go to Export Audio. Let's see, that's all good. And it's a WAV file, so we're going to save. Oh, okay, so you need to put .wav at the end. I usually forget that. That's just so it knows it's a WAV file. Save. Okay, no, yeah, we don't need to replace that. Anyway, so that's how you would do it, but I'm just going to go ahead and close out because I've already got a WAV file saved. What am I doing? Quit. Okay, sorry about that. Now the next step is going to be open up Studio One, and this is the professional version, so the MP3 would have worked for me, but just to show you guys what you might go through. I've already got a session here, but we'll create a new one as a test, so I'll label it, and we'll say test. There we go. So you'll notice I've already got the BPM here. It's 81 beats per minute, and that's important. It needs to line up to the grid. And then I usually don't stretch audio files to song tempo, but you can do that if you're trying to change the tempo later. So now we're going to go to the desktop, and we're going to drag in the WAV file. And you'll see it's going to create a new track for you. Alright, so you're going to see right away it's not lined up to the grid. That's the second measure there, and there's a little bit of space. So if you turn on the metronome and play, yeah, so you're going to see that it's not lined up at all. So that's a problem. You're going to take Snap to Grid off. Perfect. And now your goal is to close that gap. So we're going to take a little off the top here. There we go. And now we should be able to zoom in and be sure that we're pretty close to starting that at the second measure. So this will leave one measure of click track. And for some reason it's not letting me drag that back to the beginning. Okay, well, oh well. So put Snap to Grid back on. This is important for, well, we'll make sure this is right. It's actually pretty good. Okay, So now that we have Snap to Grid back on, the next thing we need to worry about is lining up some clicks. So we're going to go to Files here. This is where I have my Loop Community click tracks saved. First one, first beat should always be a click accent. That way they know where they are in the measure. Now by default it's too long, so we're going to trim that down to one beat. Alright, and then I'll fix this. And maybe a nice fade in. Alright. So we've got our first beat. Now we're going to add in some clicks. These are just regular clicks, and we'll trim them down as well. And then you can just press D, which is duplicate. That'll give you two more. Select those, and then just duplicate as needed. So you're going to want to cover the entire song until you get to the last sustaining note here. And as long as we're right up to there, let me test this. So that last sustaining note doesn't need click track because nobody's playing anything rhythmic. The next step is to add in our cues. So we're going to be looking for one. Let's see, right, okay. There we are. Sometimes I forget the alphabet. No big deal. So we're going to drag one over to the first beat, and then we're going to repeat the process with 2 through 4. And so this is just going to give you a measure of cue, and we're going to use this all over the song. So here's 4, and I'll let you guys hear that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So they're right along with the cues, or sorry, the click track. I'm going to select them and press G. G is group, and then
1, 2,
you'll see it doesn't
3,
change anything.
4.
It's just one file now. I'm going to go ahead and copy that because I'm going to use it all over. Alright, that doesn't want to seem to work. There we go. And then you can see I'll just paste it here to show you. Same thing. Alright, delete that. Now, this is right up at the beginning, so there's no room to put a cue in front of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 out, drag it up, and then I'm going to put intro in place of 1. So let me grab intro and drag that over. That actually fits kind of nice.
Intro, 2, 3, 4.
So still a good rhythmic count in, just didn't have room for 1, so I made it. And you still can paste that, you still got that. And then you're pretty much just going to repeat the process for every section of the song. So as soon as I find the verse here, how far back is it? Okay. So what you want to do is you want to catch it a measure before it comes in, paste in your cues, and then we're looking for verse. So drag verse. I usually do the 4th beat before. And here's that.
Verse, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice. And that takes you right into the verse. So I did a few more callouts. I probably didn't go as detailed as normally I would. You can see they're kind of scattered throughout the song, outlining some of the song sections here. You can see when intensity builds up, there's usually a call out because it's usually a new section of the song. So, like I said, I didn't go as intense as I probably would if I was going to use this, but just for example's sake, I figured I'd wrap that up. So, the next step you're going to need to take to actually use this is you're going to have to decide if you want to use Studio One as your playback. A lot of times that's what I do at my church. I'll use Studio One to play the tracks, or I'll use the Prime app Loop Community makes. It's excellent. That requires a few more steps, and I can explain that if anyone's interested. So yeah, if you were going to use Studio One, what you need to do is make sure you have this muted. Now, obviously, you don't want to hear that. You don't want your musicians to hear the actual song. That's going to throw them off, especially if you're playing in a different key. So, if I go to the beginning here and press play.
Intro, 2, 3, 4.
Now you're not hearing the actual song anymore, which is ideal. All you're hearing is the callouts. So, in a situation where maybe you have samples that you made, and I actually started a few, but I won't throw those in or we'll just use the song for an example. Let's say you want to use some samples to fill out your band's sound, and you need a way to mix them so that your musicians can hear just click track and then your congregation doesn't hear click track at all. So what we're going to do, we're going to unmute the track again. Sorry, the song, I should be clear. I'm going to put the song in the right channel. So we're going to press R there. What that does is it hard pans to the right speaker, and then we're going to do the left with click track and cues. So now, whenever you plug in your 1/8 inch plug to probably splits to 1/4 inch into 2 different DI boxes, you're going to have 2 channels going to your board. One is going to be for the left, which is going to be your click and cues, and then on the right you're going to have your samples, or in this case it's just the song. So that's pretty much it, unless you have any need to export the stems, and I'll explain what that means. Stems means you're just going to export each individual track. We have 3 tracks here: the clicks, the song, and the cues here. So if you were going to use something like the Prime app, you would need to upload the stems to their cloud. So what you want to do there, go to Song, Export Stems. Oh, I should highlight that. What you just saw me do is click the bar up here right above the time bar and select the entire length of the song. That is setting a loop, and that makes it easy to select the portion you want to export. Ignore these. These are stems I was working on. But for now, here's the song, the click track, and the cues. You want to set between loop and give it a name. Let's just say stems. It will automatically add the session's name into that. Or I'm sorry, not the session's name, but the track names. So you'll know which one is which. And then you just press OK. I won't do it because I don't need them for anything. But then you'll just find them in the sessions files, and you can upload those to whatever DAW or multi-track player you want to use. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, type in the comments, and I'd be happy to clear them up. Thanks.